Hello. So today we are going to be discussing how to know if you hired the right real estate agent. I'm going to talk about 5 telltale signs that you should be looking for. So we're going to dive right in. So first off, the first thing you should look for in a professional agent is they should always want to have an initial consultation with you before working together in some way or form. So whether you're working with an agent on the buy side or whether it's you're working with somebody to sell, that initial consultation is a really important part of the process. Number one, it tells me that actually the agent that you're working with has a process, has a system in working with both buyers and sellers. And I think that's really important. But number two, that initial consultation is really going to be talking about what are your goals? What is your time frame? How can they best help you? And also a good agent, if they find that maybe your goals aren't really aligned with what they're able to do, they're going to be able to have an honest conversation with you and also tell you whether or not they think that they're the best fit for you. So again, having an initial consultation is really key in understanding whether you're working with the right person. Number two, does your realtor ask you really good questions? So I think that really having a guide and advisor as an agent that is going to ask you some tough questions, maybe, talking again and discussing your goals and what you're looking for is a really important part of the process. So having somebody that can delve into, again, what your time frame is, what you're looking for, and is willing to be open and honest with you if they think that maybe your expectations are misaligned is the sign of a good agent. Number three, having somebody that is proactive and has good communication. So as someone that I served as the managing broker for several real estate offices for the #1 independent brokerage in the country. And what I can tell you is that one of the things that we hear the most as a customer complaint is that real estate agents are not responsive or they're not communicating. And so a good agent is really going to be communicating with you along the way. They're going to be proactive. So whether you're working on the buy side, for example, a lot of times agent or customers may think that their agent is just looking at something that comes on the MLS as a way to help find them a home. And honestly, if that's all they're doing, that's really not enough. So a good agent is going to be proactive. They're going to be communicating with you, telling you the things that they're doing to find a home for you, whether it's looking on the MLS or what they're doing behind the scenes. So a lot of agents may be doing that, but maybe they're just not communicating it to you. So again, having an agent that's going to be proactive in your home search is really important. And again, communicating what they're doing back to you. And on the sell side, having somebody that's really proactive that is going to talk you through the process. So there's a lot of steps that go into getting a home ready for market. So you want somebody that's able to really help advise you throughout those steps in that process. And then also you want somebody that while the home is on the market is going to be really proactive in reaching out to you, letting you know what the feedback has been. That's also going to be monitoring trends. So it's really good to understand what's sold because that's what an appraiser is going to be looking for, and that's often how we price. But really important too is looking at what's actually the active inventory on the market because that's your competition. So are those selling and yours isn't? How are they monitoring that? And again, is your agent communicating what they're seeing back to you? So that is number three. Number four, this may seem obvious, but unfortunately it's not always so. So number four is did your agent have you sign a written agreement saying that you agreed to hire them? So on the list side, or when you go to sell, this is really required. So I'd say if an agent is not able to have a frank conversation about how what goes into them hiring you, which is by signing a written agreement, then I would say they probably don't know how to advocate for themselves, and they also probably are not going to be the best person for you to negotiate on your behalf. But on the buy side, I see a large percentage of agents that are working with clients maybe without a written agreement in place. And I guess this to me number one, in Virginia is against the law. So in Virginia, in order to really represent buyers as a buyer's agent, you actually do have to have a written agreement in place. And if you don't, then that means that you represent the seller. So a lot of agents don't necessarily take the time to help their clients understand what agency means. And that really is just who agents represent. Do they represent you, or do they represent the seller? And so that's, again, a really important part of the process. To have somebody that is committed to you, because if there's no agreement in place, number one, they may not be representing your interests, but number two, they may not be really as committed to you and to your best interests. And so that, again, I go back to, if an agent is working with you without some type of agreement that says you chose to hire them, then I would think I see it more with newer agents or people with less experience, maybe less clients. So they're kind of hoping or maybe avoiding that conversation because they don't want rejection. But if that's the type of person that is really representing your interests, I would say if they can't advocate for themselves, how are they going to advocate for you? So that's number 4. And then number 5 is, does this person have your best interest at heart? So there's probably a reason why real estate agents, they work by commission. And so there is sometimes a perception in the market that they're only out for themselves. And that's probably true for some agents. But, the vast majority do want to do good and do want to help you, but we are commission based. So it's important that you have an agent that's working by your side, that it cares more about your interests than their own. There are times, I know for myself, where I've actually been with clients and I've said, you know what, I don't think this is the right home for you. You may think it is, but I think that maybe you're trying to rush things, or maybe you're not seeing XYZ because you told me on the front end, because we had that initial consultation and we talked about your search, you told me that you wanted XYZ and this doesn't have that. Did something change? Or have you altered your search? Help me understand where you're coming from. So a good agent is going to be able to pull you back and to reiterate what you were looking for and help you give you good information so you can make good decisions for yourself. On the sell side, I know that's happened too, where maybe I've looked in, my goal is to be an advisor for clients. And I think that as agents, that's our role. We should be a guide and advisor that helps our clients make educated decisions for themselves. And so that's why it's really important that you do have somebody working by your side that cares about your interests, that's willing to put those ahead of their own, and is really just a trustworthy advisor by your side. So hope these were helpful. And as a little recap, so number 1 was, did they schedule an initial consultation with you? Number 2, did they ask really good questions? So they understood your search, so they understand how to best help you. Number 3, are they proactive in communicating? So are they proactive in your search? Are they communicating what the steps they're doing back to you? Number 4, do you have a written agreement in place where they actually do represent your interests? And number 5, are they trustworthy? Do they have your best interest at heart? So I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. I see you, Meredith, Romeo. Good to see you all. And I am always here for questions and to be a guide for you all. So if you have any questions, just feel free to reach out. All right, bye.